just want to say thanks very much for having me here today. My name's Alan Blake. I'm a CWNE, and I'm also a network engineer for General Electric, and I have my own business, my own sideline as GBR Networks Chief of Wi-Fi. I'm also on Twitter. For those of you who don't know me, Papa Geordie, follow me. It'd be great to follow you too. I'm here to talk about something, and I want to start off with this question. Why is it today that anybody thinks that they can do Wi-Fi? How hard can it be, yeah? No wires. So why are there so many bad designs around? Wi-Fi is supposed to be easy. And is it acceptable to have untrained, unqualified, unskilled engineers doing Wi-Fi designs? What you guys have taken the time to train, to get the skills, to get the experience to do. Does that seem fair? So I have an idea, and it involves every one of us, but my idea is nothing new. It's not. What if I told you that it's everywhere, in all walks of life? Yeah, everything that we do, what we buy, that are manufactured, it's out there. And that is standards. More specifically, Wi-Fi standards. We don't have any at all. And that's what I want to talk to you guys here today about. One particular thing. The setup of an accreditation body of Wi-Fi design standards. What do we think? Do we need it? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. But let's talk about standards in general. You know, why do we need standards? Why do we have standards out there? I mean, standards set the benchmark, don't we, for what we strive to do, what we strive to deliver, what we strive to achieve. They allow us to be, coherent with one another, work in unison, yeah? Make sure no one deviates off the path. We all sing from the same hymn sheet, okay? It's what we need. It keeps us focused. And also it allows us to kind of redevelop and innovate from standards, make things better than what they were, strive to achieve better. See, I'm glad I brought my notes with me today. But more importantly, one thing that I find with standards is they make me feel safe and secure. Safe in the knowledge that no matter who I hire to do a service for me or install a product, they are accredited. They have a standard, they have a code, they have a belief that they want to do better. So that gives me confidence, that gives our customers confidence that a design engineer is a member of the accreditation body that believes in something. There's a code of ethics that we will continue to strive to do the right design first time. So, how do we get there? How do we create this thing? Well, what if I told you that's quite easy? And the reason why it's quite easy, hands up those of you in here who blog. Hands up those of you who blog and also write technical documentation, white papers. How many of you in here tweet links to other people's blogs, to other people's technical documentations? You know, I salute you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, because right there is the content that we have already to form a basis for this standard. There's a lot of ideas out there. There's a lot of good, excellent content. We just need a virtual paperclip to correlate that all together, don't we? Yeah? Because not everyone knows where to go. No one follows me all the time. No one knows where to follow Sam. They have to rely on other people. But if we had an accreditation standards, that's somewhere for someone to go, yeah? People know where to go to get guidance, because that's what we need sometimes. No matter if we're an expert or if we're a novice, we all need guidance. We need to know where to go to do something that we may not have done before. Someone may have already written about this. It helps us do things better. This is where my slides come in. See, I know I didn't need slides. And so one of the things we need to do is create a task group, a work group, a committee. I'm asking for you guys to volunteer your time, whether you're an experienced individual with 20 years in the industry, or whether you're new to the industry, whether you're new to Wi-Fi design, but you've got some great ideas that you want to share. You want to put down on a piece of paper and form part of this. I need you guys. I can't do this on my own. I don't have all the answers, but you do. Collectively, we could do this. So we need volunteers, we need individuals who are going to be able to help us. with that, it's up to those individuals to forge and define the Wi-Fi standard. So we define our content, okay? We define exactly what it is that we do and how we do it. A lot of us are writing these blogs. A lot of us are already writing this down. So let's put it down as a standard if it's necessary. And if it's not a standard, then let's call it a best practice. Let's call it something that is meaningful, but it works for all of us, and it stops these bad designs, okay? A couple of things I want to talk about, what's important. Things like methodology, which could be contained within the standards body. We'll talk about a good methodology. If there's anything wrong with survey, design, install, validate, those are good approaches to Wi-Fi design. But what about data gathering, predictive modeling, optimization, remediation? Those two are all of those tasks are valid, but we need to define them, and then we can define the content within each of those particular methodologies, those approach to Wi-Fi design. That's something that we're not doing right now. People are just doing their own thing, but it'd be a good idea to just bring it in. All right, we're all experts, we're all engineers, we've all got good ideas, and that's what we need. The other thing I want to talk about as well is standardizing terminology, because this is a pet peeve of mine. Predictive surveys. Yeah? Who uses it in here? Hands up. Stop using it. What does a predictive survey literally mean? Come on. Exactly. Literally, it doesn't mean anything. There are better ways to describe certain things, and we have an opportunity here to standardize that. We have an opportunity to say, you know what, we're not going to use the excuse it's a predictive survey because that's what it's always been. We're going to turn around and say, do you know what, we're going to call it something meaningful. Modeling, predictive design, call it what you want. It's up to the committee to define that standard. It's a good opportunity, I think. And the other thing that I've been reading about, CCI, CCC, can you pick one, please, you guys in the room? If it's describing the same thing, why are we confusing things even further? Yeah? Stick with one and keep it that way. And then we want to define surveys, and I know Sam touched on this with his excellent presentation this morning. You know, we misconstrue the word survey to mean other things. Now, if you talk to me and say, I'm going to do a survey, I kind of know what you're talking about. But sometimes the customer may or may not. Their idea of a survey may mean, oh, you're doing the design. But actually, it's not quite that. So we need to have that opportunity with this body to define the standards and the metrics and everything else that goes along with it. It's a good opportunity. So we can define pre-survey versus pre-deployment survey. It's important, because if we can address this the same way, I guarantee you customers will follow. If we lead, others will follow. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Oh, I think I just said that. It's an interesting one. I'm interested in all of your thoughts here. So I'm here for the duration of this conference, obviously. So pour me over any time, breakfast, over a beer, coffee, whatever, and give me your thoughts on this particular one. The eligibility criteria for this accreditation body, for it to be successful, what is the only thing that we have to measure ourselves against? And is, at the moment, the CWMP, right? That's all we have. So is it valid to say the minimum standard of entry into a standards organization would be, for wireless, CWNA? Is that fair? Yeah? Over, say, some of the vendor certifications, for example. Yeah? So the eligibility criteria would be, we have an individual who's a member of an accreditation body who's a minimum CWNA. So if you want to be in our club, this is what you need to achieve to become that member. For the vendors, the VARs, the independents, well, here's a thought that I had, and I know I've discussed this with a few individuals already while I've been here, but what about if we gave them the opportunity to be a part of this, okay? And we said, well, if a vendor wants to be accredited, they must employ a CWNA, minimal, if they want to compete in the Wi-Fi design market. If they want to install Wi-Fi, have a minimum CWNA on your books who's going to be your go-to guy to do the Wi-Fi designs, right? If you have that individual who's an accredited member, then you too could become an accredited company. And what we'd like to see, in my opinion, is all of the vendors out there, you know, Cisco, Ruckus, AeroHive, Airtight, and if I don't mention your name, I do apologize. But what about if these guys joined us in this particular idea and said, you know what, I like what you're doing because I like the fact that if you're going to be installing my product, I know it's in good hands. I know it's with an expert or a certified engineer who follows a code is going to do this properly. So, what if we said to them, well, for every accredited company, why don't you give us a little bit of incentive? Why don't you give us maybe 5% on your AP products? Just a thought. So what if we do nothing? What if we just say, you know what, Alan, great idea, and then we go off to the pub and forget about it? What if we actually do nothing about this? If this is what everyone wants, and we think it's going to help us, if we don't do anything, ask yourself, what happens? Things will stay as they are. You will be continually firefighting. You will be forever going in and remediating these bad designs. Yeah, it's great, it keeps you in business, but it's not really helpful to our customers, is it? You know? We want to be able to do it right first time. We want to follow a best practice. We want to be part of a standard that ensures that the customer has a competent engineer riding in on horse and is going to give them a design that they're paying for. Not someone who thinks they can do Wi-Fi, because that means they're going to pay for that again because you guys are going to come in and say to them, it's a bad design, and you're going to charge them more. We don't want that. We've got to help ourselves here. So if you've got ideas, I want to hear about them, okay? Let me know your thoughts. I implore you. Because otherwise, like I just mentioned, anyone's going to be thinking they can do Wi-Fi. Now, Aaron Scott made a great observation yesterday about how when Ethernet came out, it was an enterprise technology that got pushed into the consumer market. But think about it at the minute that we actually have an instance where actually Wi-Fi is actually being driven from the customers, and it's coming out into the enterprise market because it's been driven by people at home who have their iPhones, their iPads, and they have their own Wi-Fi APs. They think they're experts because they know no matter where they are, they may go outside their house and they say, well, I get coverage. So some of them just have that, I don't know, that mentality that thinks that because they've got home Wi-Fi, it'll work. Put an AP up in the ceiling there, it should work. It should provide you with coverage. They have limited ability, they have limited knowledge, but for some reason they think they're experts. I really don't know why. Things like designs don't behave as expected if we don't standardize things, if we don't standardize our approach. Yeah? When you go to site, you just don't know what you're going to get. So you're going to be spending more and more time. And I can guarantee there's a lot of you in here that do not like remediation work. Am I right? Well, it depends if it's paying your bills. Yeah. And the other thing as well, I'm a believer in this. I mean, if we don't have standards, then I don't see how we can get any better. I think we're always going to be whinging about this for a long time if we don't do something about this, if I'm brutally honest. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's an opportunity here and we should really take this. So, just to wrap up, a Wi-Fi accreditation standards body. Do you want to be a member? Thank you.